All right, Kings, with a couple of streams back under his belt, a primer video made about him, and a whole lot of cope to unpack. Let's dive into Baldo Man's attempts to deflect any and all possible opportunities to take blame for his actions. His first local stream was peak cope. It included multiple digs thrown at legal mindset for not being a true Baldo guard and being a good autist like Nina Infinity or EVS, in that you just hand wave it all away because you didn't read the charges or the file on the search warrant, and you think a 6-year-old should be able to wash their own clothes and cook themselves 3 square meals. He also stated he's gone back to church, but not the same one he usually goes to. But not because he's been outed as a child neglecting substance abuser whose children were taken by the state, but because he's always changed churches during the summer and we're fucking idiots who don't know how hard it is. And the black eye he sported in the mug shot was allegedly gained from falling. And while it could be the case, I'm not fully buying it. We also did get guest appearances from the Ceiling Cats and the Corner Demon, even in the sunroom. So there is a good probability that hot wife turned possible narc for the state is still in the home. And on the same day as that, we got a lolcow primer video from Turkey Tom. While it did cover the bigger stuff, including cameos from Alyssa and most unexpectedly myself, it was decidedly lacking in other areas. The Monograph lawsuit wasn't covered as in-depth as it should have, as it has been a major thread within everything that's happened since last year. And the Eric July beef was glossed over as well, despite the use of the
"because I'm just a white bread ass nigga"
clip being used at the start. I also would have included the struggle session with Potentially Criminal, just because it was a notable meltdown for him. It's not a bad video by any means, but it didn't give the full spectrum of the nosedive, especially when a troon who obsessed over a Danny Phantom character got an hour and 45 minutes. Now we get to the most recent stream he did yesterday to the locals, and all of us who stream sniped him to make fun of it. He tried to make the Bible about himself and sexualize it because he's still trying out his comedy routine for the prison talent show, which included a passage that directly shitted on himself. It was an obvious shot at the pastor of the church he got chased out of because he was a prude incel who just didn't know how to have fun. He also coped about Kumalat getting a contract to place dead last in NASCAR ARCA races, since it reminded him of Rumble leaving Nick out on the streets begging for money in his GT 500. As he did in the previous stream, he made sure to tell everyone that while he isn't saying the government has a hand in his arrest, and cannot say so while his case is ongoing, he did talk at length about how the government did have a hand in his arrest. That you cannot trust the government to make the correct decisions about your case, and that they basically falsified everything that was found in the search warrant. Basically, the Lulbert greatest hits. It's also becoming apparent during the start of these streams that he's obviously reading a script to gaslight people and manipulate the facts of the case. Also, another obvious thing to pick up on is him not saying where the kids are. No signs of regret or sadness that his family is gone. Just nothing but bliss that he has all the time in the world to do what he wants to do. And if you read the live chat, you'll have a small contingent who actually cared. Some posting AI-generated photos of Nick, still life fed posting, and one extremely autistic person laser-focused on Ham. Let's just get to Baldo pulling the wool over everyone's eyes.
Baldonatics, I appreciate all 50 of you who have come to support my temporary return to locals and engaged in my chat. I know me self-inserting myself into the Bible may be aggrandizing and conceited on my part, but I'm literally better than Jesus. And besides, Jesus is just some guy who barely did anything for me. The remodel, the studio is almost finished. The sheriff's office was kind enough to take some of my things out of the studio for me. So it only helped me along with that. Well, they gave me a tour of a jail cell, along with our wife and hot wife. Any search warrant or unpaid speeding tickets are just a ploy on the government's part to make you think I'm some dipshit who can't pay his tickets or have done cocaine, allegedly. I mean, I was just kidding that one time I said on stream that I was doing Molly. All those bootlicking faggots and Karen farmers can't pick up on jokes. Richard Otim, who has seemingly infiltrated my locals chat, wants to know if me doing a driving stream would only incriminate myself for not only distracted driving, but also my prior tickets for speeding and having both expired insurance and plates. My lawyer has told me that you will receive an answer to these quite frankly salacious claims in a filing. But fuck you, I'm the law pope, and the rules of the road do not apply to either me or my GT500. Allegedly. On the topic of fuck you, I'd like to give an official fuck you to Camelot. I gave you your break. I gave you your fucking sub numbers. I let you sleep with both myself and our wife in Vegas, and you have the audacity to succeed on your own beyond my purview. You owe me a fucking cut. I'm not the baby mama and child you abandoned. I'm superior to them both. You will dun the Baldo on the car, or you will rue the day you crossed me. Just kidding, guys. But anyway, I keep getting asked why I don't let the body cam footage get released. I just don't get what anyone wants to see. It certainly can't be the state of my home that was described as deplorable. Anime sucks Cope and Sneed with a $5 donation asking, where are my kids? Why don't you tell me where my kids are, you faggot? Mike Herrera with a $5 donation, as well asking which section of the Bible will enable me to get my kids back from the state. Probably Leviticus or Proverbs, but fuck you. Pepsi Man with a $5 donation as well, asking if my kids being taken by the state is the excuse I'm using for why I suddenly have time to clean up after the sheriff's seizing the drugs I had in my studio. My lawyer will be filing a memo that says a heartfelt fuck yourself, so be on the lookout for that. One final chat before we go. Cully wants to know if I'm using the guest house as not only a haven for a newly divorced April, but also the liquor I've had to replace. You'll have to read the filings, and I hope you get 1 trillion pregnancies